Hello and welcome to the table once again. Today we are talking about calling and about how God works through us in maybe some unexpected ways. And so I am excited to introduce Kathy to the table and welcome you here today, and so we can learn a little bit about your story, about your calling. So welcome.
Thanks, Mitch.
So Kathy, who are you?
Hi, everybody. My name's Kathy Choate, and I am the director of First Nursery School. I have been part of First Church my entire life. I was born here, baptized here. My parents sang in the choir. My brothers and I went through all of the programs, and that's pretty much who I am.
So you grew up here. Did you ever expect growing up when you were a child that you'd be serving in full-time ministry?
No. Actually, my life didn't go anything like I had planned.
Really? So what did you expect?
Well, I was going to go to college and I was going to meet the man of my dreams. I was going to graduate. I was going to get a teaching job, and we would live happily ever after.
White picket fence.
White picket fence, green door. Yes.
Yeah.
But none of that happened.
Yeah.
And so
how did you start First Nursery School?
well, actually, my very first job here was as the bell choir director.
Really?
Yeah, and the children's choir director. And I wanted to do that because I loved kids, and I loved playing bells because I did that a lot when I was a kid. And then I started having my own kids, and while I wanted to continue in those things, but I also wanted to take a job at First Nursery whenever a job became available so that I could be with my kids. And that didn't happen for a while until I was pregnant with my son, Ben. So that was a while ago. And a job became open, and so I applied for it, and I got it. And I started out there as the art teacher.
Did you?
So yes, and I loved it because I was going to be able to take my kids there with me.
So we've had the benefit of knowing you as a director of First Nursery. Have you ever had any concerns about being the right person, or the right fit for that?
Always. Not making sure, or not knowing whether I had the gifts to do that, not knowing whether I was good enough. All of those kinds of things were things that were challenging to me, and not fitting in, because I'm not the typical, ministry leadership person that you would think of. So
what are some of your bigger concerns about that, about being the right person?
Making sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to, making sure that the kids are getting what they need, making sure parents are happy and that kids are safe, and that we're giving the kids everything that they need to build their life to enter kindergarten.
So when you think about calling and you think about how God has worked throughout this, how have you seen God be by your side throughout this? There's uncertainty, but you still feel called.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit just about that relationship between those two tensions?
Well, in my life, I've had but some crises in my life with my kids and things. And I have always seen God's faithfulness through all of the things that we've gone through. And I can see that with First Nursery as well. When I've had a problem, He just walks me through it. He is faithful in everything that I do. And for that, I'm so grateful. And I can see His work in the way things go. So I count on Him and trust Him to do what is the right thing and the best thing.
Yeah. And has that become easier over time to trust?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But if I can always remember that God is faithful and he will get me through anything, that is how I go.
Do you remember when you first felt called in this direction? What that was like?
I think being called, I haven't ever heard God say to me, Kathy, this is what I'm calling you to do. But I've known that it was the right thing at the right time. And I think that is the calling that I have felt. In my heart and in my mind, I knew that it was just the right next step for me. Like in my ministry here, I've known when it's time to let some things go and move on to the next thing. And so I believe that that's the way God has led me through this.
So it sounds like faithfulness.
Absolutely.
Every step.
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
That's really good. Well, you've had an opportunity to work with volunteers and staff who work with children. How do you go about identifying those individuals who feel called to be working with children in ministry?
All right. So I have 3 things that I go on. Number 1, do they love Jesus? Number 2, I usually say, are they a mom?
Okay.
Because moms have a lot of intuition about the way kids are going to be and act. And number 3, do they love kids? Those are the 3 things that I look for when I look for a person to come on staff. And then the last thing is, are they going to fit into the group that I already have established? So that's how I look for staff and volunteers.
Great.
Yeah.
So if someone's sitting here watching and they've been wrestling with calling, and they might not feel like the entire right fit for perhaps what they feel they're being called into, what encouragement would you give
Just
to them?
do it. The Nike shirt. Just do it. God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called.
Yeah.
Which is so truthful.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Well, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Mitch.
We love First Nursery and
Thank
all
you.
that is happening over there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.